So guys, I want to show you something really cool today, and it's a computer in a stick. I'm not even kidding you. This is an entire computer. It's not just part of a computer, it is a whole, fully working, entirely Windows 10 computer. It's the Azulle Access Plus, and this is the second generation. They've had an Access before, and it is a LAN stick, which means that it actually has an Ethernet port right there for if you want to hardwire into internet, which is hard to find on a stick this size. Now, when Azulle reached out to me about this is a sponsored video, I had to jump at the chance because I couldn't believe I could have an entire computer in a stick that's this light and this crazy. This is what it looks like inside the box. And I got the version with 2 gigs of RAM, and I'll show you everything that comes inside it. Inside the box, you have got the stick itself with its little antenna. That's for your Wi-Fi, which is also built in. You've got a power brick, and you can actually pop off this part right here. I guess they do that so that if you live in another country, maybe they give you the plug for your country, or if you have an adapter kit, you can use that. So that just slides right on. You've got this, which is basically a male to female HDMI cable. So if you don't want to plug the Azulle Access Plus directly into a monitor or your television, maybe your HDMI port's on the back and this would be sticking out against the wall, or you're afraid that it's a little heavy, which I don't really think it is. I think it would be fine. But if you need the excess or the extra flexibility, you can use this, and you just plug it right in. And then you've got your HDMI end right here that you could plug into any monitor that you want to use this with. And that is it for what comes in the box, aside from the instructions. You have a little Azulle card with more information about Azulle on here. And you have the quick guide for getting started. And if you think this is small and isn't going to help you, don't worry. It's that small because you hardly need it. It is super easy to get set up. I'll even show you how. Now, to show you the Access Plus itself really quick, everything is labeled and you have your power right here. This is what plugs into the outlet that goes into your wall. You have 2 USB ports, one USB 2.0 and one USB 3.0. You can always tell because the USB 3.0 is blue. You've got a headphone jack, your Ethernet port if you want to plug into wired internet. So it's great for a LAN, but you don't need it. It also has wireless built in, and it even has a little Kensington lock port right here so that you can lock this down so people don't take it if you live in maybe, say, a college dorm where you're afraid of that sort of thing. You've got your power button right here, and then you have your HDMI. And the great thing about this is you could even plug this right into a capture card. So you could plug your entire PC if you want to use it to record things like gameplay footage when you're out on the go, which is pretty amazing in a machine that's this size, which is smaller than a capture card itself. Now, I want to tell you a little bit more about it. This is actually the world's only computer stick like this that has an Ethernet port. So if you're looking for a portable computer like this that has Ethernet so that you can hardwire in, this is the one for you. Another really awesome thing about it that I don't think a lot of people focus on for this sort of thing is how easy it is to travel with. This fits right into a pocket. And while you can use a laptop to travel, this is cheaper than most laptops. It runs pretty well considering the price. I'm really surprised. I'll actually show you how it runs later. And it can even fit in your pocket. And you're not limited to using, you know, a 13-inch laptop screen, which would make a laptop much bigger than this. If you're traveling to a hotel or anywhere that's going to have a monitor, this can work for you. And there's no worry about losing it in a bag or something when you're traveling because it can literally fit right into your pocket. Now, the Wi-Fi on it is really good too. And in fact, when I set it up, I used it with Wi-Fi and it was great. It's got dual band Wi-Fi, which will give you great speeds for browsing and streaming because you can use this for Netflix or use it as a media library for your entire home. And it's got a 64-bit quad-core Intel Cherry Trail processor. So you can use multiple applications on it at one time and it won't slow you down. Now, it has 32 gigs of onboard storage, but there's also something I forgot to show you, which is that it's got a micro SD card slot right here if you want to expand that storage. It's right under the Wi-Fi antenna. And that'll let you expand it to an additional 128 gigs of storage, which should be more than you need for basic applications and basic web browsing, writing documents, etc., and even playing basic games. And of course, you could always take out that SD, plug it into another computer, and transfer all your files, or just have multiple SD cards, which will give you essentially an unlimited amount of storage, as long as you don't mind swapping out the SD card. Because it's got two USB ports, you can plug in a keyboard and a mouse into here directly, or you could of course use a keyboard and mouse combo where you can just use one dongle for both of them. And it also lets you use webcam. Any other devices that are USB enabled that you want to plug into here, you can. It's also got an 8th gen Intel HD graphics card, which means you can play things back in 1080p. I personally plugged this into a monitor and was using it at 1440p when I recorded the footage I'm about to show you, and it was totally capable. Now, after using this, I could actually say for anyone who uses their computer primarily to just, do office work or do documents, browse the web, use it for school, for all of that, this actually suffices. Basically everything that I currently do on my MacBook Air, which is my everyday computer that I use for browsing the web, emails, etc., could totally do on this, and this is actually smaller to travel with if I have a monitor I could plug it into on the other end. Another really good use for it is as a home media storage center, where you could essentially turn any TV into a smart TV, and not just with the limited features that most smart TVs have, but as an actual computer. And you could keep all your music on here, any streaming services, Netflix, and you're good to go. I'm honestly pretty amazed. I'm not even joking. When I first started using this, it felt like magic. I cannot believe that an entire fully capable computer fits on this. Considering that this costs only a little over $100, it's pretty insane. So let's go ahead and take a look at how it actually runs.
So now we're into the Azulle Access Plus. You can see it right behind me. It's running Windows 10. It comes with it. And all you have to do is set up your Windows account, which Windows makes really easy to do nowadays. Now, I did the whole installation using the Azulle link, which is optional. It doesn't come with it, but you could buy it. But what I like about this is that it's got your mouse right here, and it also has a keyboard on back. So this is great because I'm currently using this on a PC monitor, but if you wanted to use this as part of a media center with your main television, even though you could just use a regular keyboard and mouse with it, this is a lot nicer and easier to use when you're sitting on the couch. You don't need a table to put that keyboard and mouse on. Now, the Azulle can also come bundled with a keyboard and mouse if you'd like, and I'll discuss that at the end of the video, but for now I want to show you the Azulle itself. I'm going to make a separate video on this link in case you're curious to learn more about it, but for now I'm going to start using it. All right, and we are in. So the first thing I want to do is just show you how great this is. This is full-fledged Windows that you have on this PC stick, which blows my mind, and it runs really well. Now, my first order of business is going to be to go to the Microsoft Store and download Minecraft. Now, I'm going to try using the Windows 10 edition just to get an idea of how well it runs on this machine. Now, I'm using the Access Plus that only has 2 gigs of RAM, so it's going to be a tall order to get any games to run on it, but let's see how it works. So I just signed in with Xbox, and here we go. Super easy to get up and running with this. So we're going to load a world, and let's see how long it takes. So it's building the terrain pretty quickly, and we're into the world. And it's pretty responsive. I can look around and look at that. For being on a PC that's on a stick, this is pretty awesome. This is way more responsive than I expected. Now, granted, this is the Windows 10 version, which is more like a mobile version. Maybe we should try the full version of Minecraft. And look at this. What's crazy about this blows my mind is I'm not using a keyboard and mouse. I'm using my Link. With a keyboard and mouse, obviously you just play like you always would, but I can't believe I could actually play Minecraft just using this thing. I definitely have to make another video on this. This is so cool. Moving forward, oh, this is so responsive. There's a chest already. Oh, this is way too much fun. So as you can see, totally responsive world. And we already made a new friend. He's had enough of us. So now I'm going to go ahead and download the full version of Minecraft. As you can see, it's super easy to just get up and running on this. I mean, look at how quick this is. So now we're just going to set it up and get it installed. So now we're downloading everything. You can see it's moving pretty quickly. Now this is going to be based more on your internet speed than the speed of the computer, but you can see it's not slowing down anything. This is moving pretty fast. And we're in. That took me about 3 minutes. Not even. Let me go ahead and get signed in here. By the way, one of the things I love about this link, you could see the mouse moving because that's using the gyroscope in it, is when you turn it over to type, it stops moving the mouse because it knows you're typing. It's just really smart. I've got to say it's a really pleasurable thing to use along with the Access, because if I was sitting on a couch watching TV, this is just so easy. And it looks like we're in. And now the world is loading. All right, we've got it, folks. And look at that, we're in. And I'm in a tree. You could see this is a lot less responsive. Now this is on the default settings, so chances are if you mess with the settings, this might get a little bit better. Yeah, I'm punching my way through. You can definitely see it's a lot slower. The frame rate is a lot lower. So especially if you were to get the 2 gig version, I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you play the Windows 10 mode of Minecraft. And if you're not happy with that, you're going to want to step up to the 4 gig version of the Azulle Access Plus for sure. See if I can walk around a bit now. I'm free. I've never... There we go. Once you're actually playing, it's not so bad. Look at this. That's not very choppy at all. Ooh, we also happen to land somewhere beautiful. Jeez, I love this area. But yeah, check this out. I'm pretty impressed. Now, don't forget that you could also get Netflix on here, Pandora, anything else you want, and use this as a streaming center. So I wanted to take a look at the bundles available on Amazon and also the differences between the 2 models, because I think it'll be really helpful. So this is just for the PC itself. This is not a bundle. And for the 2 gig version, it's $140 versus $160 for the 4 gig version. So in hindsight, I have the 2 gig version, but I would absolutely 100% recommend the 4 gig version for the $20 difference for twice the amount of RAM. You really want to go that way. There are a couple bundles that I also think are really useful. These aren't like a lot of bundles you see where they're not that helpful. These, having worked with Azulle products before, I could tell you that these bundles actually are really good. So this one has the keyboard and camera. Now, I can't speak about the keyboard itself because I haven't used it myself, but I can say a keyboard and mouse combo like that is going to be great if you plan on using this with a TV where you're sitting on the couch, for example. You don't want to have to use a separate mouse. It's not going to be very fun. And that camera is the Logitech C920, which is really awesome. It's actually the camera that I use to record this video. And if you watch a lot of gaming YouTubers, you might not know, but this is the camera that almost every gaming YouTuber uses. And Logitech has come out with a newer camera. It's the Logitech C922. I have it and I prefer the C920. I actually don't use my C922. I use my C920. So this is a pretty good deal. Even better though, I think, than this keyboard and mouse is going for the Link remote. And you could get it with just the Link remote or the Link remote and camera. Again, if you're planning on using this on a TV monitor or anything, this Link is really, really fun. I love it. It feels like a magic wand. It's really cool with what it can do, and it feels way more natural if you're sitting at a TV. I'll leave links to everything in the description below, and when I do make a video on the Link, L-Y-N-K, remote, I will leave a link, L-I-N-K, to that too. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.